Hello there. As head of British government, Rishi Sunak wanted to lead the country out of the permanent crisis. It doesn't look like that at the moment, also because of his colleagues. You heard about this morning already. At school, it would be said transfer at high risk, and the interim report for Rishi Sunak is extremely critical. The British Prime Minister will be in office for 100 days next Thursday. But instead of the hope for liberation, the Conservatives are stuck deep in the polls and have to fight with new negative headlines. Because of a tax affair, the party and government leader was forced to dismiss Secretary General Nadeem Zahawi on Sunday. I talked about it this morning already. A serious breach of ministerial rules is what Sunak wrote in his dismissal letter. And the return of the Tory swamp was the headline of the magazine Spectator, which is considered the house newspaper of the Conservatives. Opposition leader Keir Starmer slandered his opponent Sunak. Is he slowly wondering if this job is just too big for him? Well, he was there to finally steer the government back into calm waters after years of scandalous years under Boris Johnson, and not years, but weeks of chaos under Liz Truss. Integrity, professionalism, and accountability at all levels is what Sunak announced as he moved into Downing Street on October 25th as the third Prime Minister in a year. The influential Minister for Building, Michael Gove, promised the government was determined to be as boring as possible. Well, he's a good role model for that. The start was considered a success. In his first 3 months as Prime Minister, Sunak has shown himself to be more stable and pragmatic than his predecessors. That was said by political scientist Mark Garnett from the University of Lancaster, and he told this to the German press agency. Together with Finance Minister or Chancellor of the Exchequer Jeremy Hunt, he calmed the financial markets, which had been thrown into chaos by Truss' erratic economic policies. The fact that the Chancellor of the Exchequer, contrary to Conservative dogma, announced tax increases seemed to matter little. With his promises to cut debt, reduce wait times for ambulances and emergency rooms, and halt illegal immigration, the newcomer targeted key Conservative concerns. Overall, Rishi is doing a decent job and his interactions with the faction are pretty good, is how the Telegraph quoted a Tory MP as saying. But Sunak threatens to fail when it comes to integrity. Again, scandals shake the image in public. Minister of State Gavin Williamson had to step down earlier than Zahawi because of allegations of bullying. An investigation is also underway against Deputy Prime Minister Dominic Raab, who is considered Sunak's closest ally. Home Secretary Suella Braverman was appointed to the cabinet after resigning just a week earlier for breaching security rules. The fact that Sunak has stuck by Zahawi for so long and tolerated Braverman shows that he cares less about his high standards than keeping his party in check. That was commented by Byline Times correspondent Adam Bienkov. Sunak has shown himself to be a weak leader because, despite the scandals, he has not dismissed cabinet members, or he even hired them in the first place. That's how scientist Tim Bale judged him in a German press interview. The Byline Times criticized the Prime Minister more severely. After 3 months, he has not only failed to earn trust, but he has also contributed to sinking his party's reputation even further in the political swamp than his predecessors. The Conservatives are making no headway under Sunak. In polls, Labour recently reached values of almost 50%. The Tories are bobbing around at 20%. Such a result in the parliamentary elections planned next year would marginalize the Conservative group because of the first-past-the-post election process. The fact that the Prime Minister is sticking to the wage dispute in the public sector does not help him either. The sympathy of the voters is on the side of the strikers, and Sunak comes across as mean. All in all, things are looking pretty bleak. The Prime Minister is by no means the sole culprit. The situation for the Tories was already miserable under Johnson. Sunak inherited an extremely difficult situation, and that's also said by political scientist Garnett. He has done enough to indicate that given the right circumstances and with capable colleagues, he could have been a successful prime minister, says the expert. But for the country, at best, it looks like he's the right man at the wrong time. Well, the problem is the Tory party overall. I wouldn't blame Sunak alone on the whole thing, but this party is so broken, no one from them can lead a government well. I'll see you in my next video. I'll be back.